Hey, this is Elizabeth from Austin Underground. I'm here with JT Habersaat,
Hi.
the organizer for the Altercation Punk Comedy Tour.
It's me.
So you've been doing the Punk Comedy Tour for 3 years now. How's the reception been between here and other cities?
Reception's been pretty awesome. I'm from New York originally, so we do really good on the East Coast, and we did a bunch of West Coast tours and stuff that have been pretty cool. So, the punk scene's pretty diverse wherever you go. So we've had pretty good success in major cities like Chicago or down in Florida. But yeah, overall it's been really good. It's just kind of steadily growing, the more we tour around.
Out of all the subjects you could talk about, why punk?
I kind of grew up as a punk kid. The punk scene was where I kind of first cut my teeth. Bands like Black Flag and Fugazi and stuff like that, and they really influenced as far as how I think performers in general should tour, whether it's bands or comics or whatever. So that kind of DIY ethics really spoke to me as far as wanting to do a show every night, not have nights off, and just really build a fan base from the ground up. So we tour really hard and work really hard, and also just kind of the comedians I admire, like Bill Hicks or George Carlin, were always kind of punk rock to me because they kind of push the boundaries of what comedy could be. So we try and do that too.
So can you define punk comedy?
My definition of punk comedy is just not catering to what a specific audience might want to hear versus what you want to do creatively. We could probably play bigger rooms if we tone down our attitudes a little bit, but that kind of would defeat the purpose for me. It's more about self-expression and doing what I think is funny than trying to cater to a mass audience. And maybe I'd be richer if I did that, but I'm happy with where I'm at, and it's much more satisfying doing it on your own terms.
So how would you describe your style,
My style?
style?
It's funny because a lot of people, I'm kind of ranty, like kind of an angry, ranty guy, but I'm pretty mellow off stage, so a lot of people are like,
it doesn't
nervous.
fit.
Yeah, they can be like intimidated to approach me sometime, which is hilarious to me because I'm like the most laid back guy in a lot of respects, and I kind of save it for the stage. And which another one of my heroes, Iggy Pop, does that too. Like, he's a real mellow dude off stage, and he hits the stage, he's just like this manic animal. So I don't run and scream or anything, but I'm pretty ranty, I guess you could say, and kind of like kids today and stuff like that. So that's how I guess I would describe it.
Okay. And how do other punk bands respond to you?
Usually, sometimes bands may be hesitant to like it until they see it. They might say, "What's punk comedy, dude?"
Yeah.
What does that mean? You're gonna tell, Misfits jokes, or or they expect me to have a mohawk and a bomber's jacket or something. But for the most part, once they see it, they love it. So the response has been really good. I toured on Warped Tour, and I would say 90% of the bands that saw it were stoked on it.
So is there like a punk comedy scene out there, or is it just
There's an alt comedy scene. They call it alt comedy. So there's people like Patton Oswalt and David Cross and people like that started touring, but that's more indie. It's like more of an indie thing, and I admire those guys and I like both of them very much. But what I do is there's a different attitude to it. It's just like there's a difference between the orange stage here and the black stage here. It's the punk rock stage, or there's the orange stage. I would say we're the black stage as opposed to the orange stage. Both are good. I'm excited to see a lot of stuff on the orange. I'm stoked to see Spoon, and Black Joe Lewis and stuff. But I'm more of a Murder City Devils, the damned guy. You know what I mean? So it's just a slight different approach. As far as a punk comedy scene, honestly, I haven't seen too many other people lumped in with that. Joe Sib, like I said, he runs a radio show called Complete Control, and he runs Siwan Dummy Records, which is home to Flogging Molly and a bunch of great bands. And he does punk comedy. We found each other and hit it off and toured together a bunch. And but by and large, I'm sure there's kids out there doing it, but I haven't really come across it. So
yeah, this is the first time I've heard of punk comedy.
Yeah, we kind of and to me it would always seem like a no-brainer. I was like, I couldn't believe nobody had really tried that before. But everybody's like, oh my God, so yeah, we're, for better or for worse, I'm kind of the punk comedy guy now.
Okay.
But I'll take it.
It's a good title.
It's a good tag. I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Hey,
joining
thanks so much.
us today.
Really appreciate it. Thanks.